Many women who are struggling in their love lives are making the same mistakes with men. These are often the same women who will not take advice and who think they know it all, and yet they are still single. I understand how this has come about. Women have to be strong and masculine in their careers to succeed, but this does not translate well into the dating world when trying to find a partner. And I don't blame women. It's not easy to make the transition from work to love. But I want to give you a heads up so at least you can try a different way. I'm going to share a secret or two about men that may shock you and are even kind of controversial, maybe even old-fashioned. But the truth is, even though society has changed radically over the last 30 years, the basic nature of men and women hasn't. If you can internalize this and then use this knowledge in a non-manipulative way, your love life will transform. The first thing to understand is that men are extremely different from women. I cannot emphasize this enough. It is difficult to really understand this because we think so completely differently. And yet, the better you get this, the more you will transform your relationships with all men in your life. All it takes is some small adjustments as to how you are relating to them. So the big secret number one is that men need a job. What do I mean by this? Well, men are extremely task-oriented, way more than most women can actually understand. They are happiest when doing. And I don't mean mindless doing. As well as being task-oriented, men are extremely pragmatic. They will do what they need to get to a certain goal. If it doesn't get them somewhere clear, they won't waste their time. In a relationship, one of their most important goals is, believe it or not, making their woman happy. Isn't that great for us? Yes, they seriously are interested and invested in our well-being and happiness. When they're in a relationship, they automatically know that this is their main job. So what this means is that men love to do things for us. But many men have been spoiled by women who don't understand this. But even those men will be happy to find a woman who knows this and allows him to do his job. And by the way, this will be deeply subconscious for most men. They don't even know this at a conscious level, so don't go telling them as they will most likely deny it. Men are also not stupid. They will go for the highest paying job they can get. And if you are not paying them, they will go somewhere else. How do you pay a man? Of course you know I mean this metaphorically. The most valuable currency in a relationship for men is appreciation. Here's an example. You go on a date and he takes you to a movie you don't enjoy. And now what a lot of women will do is get out of the movie and spend half an hour analyzing why the movie was so bad, what could have been improved, etc., etc. This is going to pop your date's balloon so fast. There's not a guy in the world who won't feel like your comments are directed at him personally. So what do you do if you don't like the movie? Do you have to pretend you did? No. Make it a non-issue. Find something you did like about it and comment on that briefly. And then get enthused about going somewhere nice afterwards. And of course, let him know that you had a really great time at the end of the evening. Now, this is just an example. Think of how you can apply this principle when you're in a relationship. If you have male children, practice on them and notice how the whole atmosphere in your home changes. Men, no matter how old or young, absolutely thrive on appreciation. Now, how do we apply the secret number one? I could spend hours on just this topic because it is actually so easy to get this wrong. You want to create an atmosphere of appreciation in your relationship, and this starts from the very first date. Now, I don't mean a gushing false appreciation, being overly thankful. It's an atmosphere, and it can be really subtle. This is where you need to use your feminine intuition and powers as to what your man responds to, or of course each man you go on a date with. You are aiming for an atmosphere where he loves doing things for you, whether it's pulling out your chair or later on taking out the garbage, because you know how to make him feel great about doing it. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes it's just in the tone of voice you use. It's a balance between expecting to have things done for you in such a subtle way he doesn't even realize it, and being appropriately appreciative depending on the individual man and the situation. Make sense? Sometimes it's not easy to know how to do this, and that's one of the reasons why women coach with me. Because get this right, and the men you date will do anything for you and be happy while they're doing it too. And if you want to know the things that men are most looking for in a woman, here are some. Someone who is fun and doesn't take away from them having fun. Being free and having fun are closely linked in a man's world. Being a fun woman allows him to relax and not worry that you are going to restrict his freedom and fun if you become a couple. And if you can add to the adventure and fun in his life, even better. And then number 2, a woman who is easy to be with, who doesn't get hassled over small things like a waiter spilling food on her, a spider landing on her lap, or a car getting a flat tire. If she can laugh about it, all the better. Number 3, a supportive woman, not one who gives advice when he talks about something. Men hate advice, even more than us women do, and most women don't like it either, let's face it. If you try to solve a man's problems, he will think that you think he can't solve them himself. So don't do it. It will erode his self-esteem. What you do instead is create an atmosphere and even use these words of, "Babe, I know you've got this," whatever this is. Don't give advice. Don't try and change him. Don't try and get him off his path onto one that you think is better. And then number 4, a woman who doesn't criticize, not others, and especially not him. Start with these from the first date and your success with dating will skyrocket. Not only will you have the men eating out of your hand, but you will create heaven on earth in your relationships. Now, this is just one of the things you need to get right in order to succeed at finding love, particularly after 40 when it does get a little bit more difficult. This is a summary of all the steps you need to take to get from lonely to loved. And this is where learning how to use your feminine power fits in. The process of understanding or getting men. I have tons more you'll learn on this subject if you work with me, which you are welcome to. I specialize in working with women over 40 who are serious about finding the relationship of their dreams. This is Love Expert Veronica, and I'll see you soon.